Right, so welcome to the first episode of the Daenerys build. Now, I'm going to be showing you how to install the processor and the RAM into your motherboard. So let's get right into that. Right here, I have the AMD Ryzen 33100, which is clocked at 3.6 gigahertz with a max boost of 3.9 gigahertz. It's a 4-core 8-thread processor, and this cost me £98 to buy from Amazon. So this just arrived today, so let's put this to the side. I now have here 16 gigabytes of 2400 DDR4 crucial ballistics gaming memory. When it says gaming, memory is memory, but it's very good memory. I would advise you go for 3000 megahertz, but this is all I could afford. So yeah, now this is the motherboard that I reviewed earlier on, the ASRock B450M HDV R4, which is AMD Ryzen ready. So you don't need to install a new BIOS if you don't have a second or first gen chip. Right, so let's get into this build. First of all, you want to take the motherboard out of the case or box, whatever yours comes in. Now you'll be greeted with these things: the IO shield, SATA, and a CD. In my case, I had a manual, but I just threw it to the side because who actually uses them, and a screw. So I'm just going to put these to the side and take the motherboard out. So your motherboard will be wrapped in an anti-static film. So what you want to do is use the box as a desk if you don't have an anti-static mat. You want to put the anti-static film on top of the box, and before you do anything, touch metal just so you can ground yourself. Now, there you go. Now, this is the layout of the motherboard. Let me just put it in frame for you guys. This is where your CPU would go in. It's where your RAM would go in. And the first thing you want to do is unscrew this. If you're using the AMD Ryzen 33100, you want to unscrew this so you can install the CPU cooler. So I'm going to get the CPU cooler and the processor out of the box and unscrew these right here. Okay, so I'm back. You will need a Phillips head screwdriver for these. I'm using one of the flat ones because I can't find my Phillips head, but it works perfectly. I just use the smaller one. So you want to unscrew these. So I'm just gonna skip this part for you guys, but you know what to do. Okay, so once you're done, make sure you keep these, because in the future you might decide to resell your motherboard and you'll want to install this back in. Now, don't lift the motherboard because the back plate is still in there and it might fall out. It will fall out, so don't lift the motherboard. Now, what you want to do, what I do first is start with my CPU. So let's put this to the side and unbox the CPU. So right here we have the AMD Ryzen 3 3100. I've already opened it before just to see what's inside. Now with AMD chips you have to be careful because the pins are actually on the chips, unlike Intel where the pins are on the motherboard. So you want to get this and put it to one side first and take out your cooler. Now this is the AMD, I think the AMD Stealth or Wraith cooler. I think it's the Wraith cooler. I don't know which one it is. This is my first time doing AMD stuff, so I don't really know much about it. Yeah, it's a Wraith cooler with thermal paste installed. So you don't really need to have thermal paste for this. Now I'm gonna put that to the side. So these are the two things you get. You get a sticker for the Ultimate Flex. You get your chip and get a cooler. Now you want to unbox the cooler, starting with the bottom, so you know where the thermal paste is, and that is it right there. So you take this off, and then grab it around. Make sure that you do not touch the thermal paste. Take the cooler and put it upside down in one corner. Put the plastic back in the box, just in case you want to sell all these parts again in the future. Now I'm gonna put the box to one side, and this is the CPU. Now don't open this yet, because as you are seeing, the pins are actually on the chip. So if you drop that and you bend a pin, it's done for you. You're gonna have to buy a new one or something, or you might have to return it and get it replaced. So I'm gonna put this to one side because I don't want to get it messed up. Now the motherboard has made an entry back into the group chat, as some of the people would say. Not that I say it, but some people would say it. You want to open up the casing where the CPU is in. But first, lift up the extension arm. There we go. I never forgot about that. Lift up the retention arm and pull it back all the way till it's upright. Damn. Now, take it out. Be very careful with this. You don't want to bend the pins. Now, there's a code trick I use. If you see right here, there's that gold point there. You want that to line up with this white marker there, or the Ryzen writing has to be on the same, horizontal to this thick part of the socket. Now you just want to drop it, just put it in there slowly and gently. It will fall in, don't force it in. And now you just close the retention arm. Now these don't require as much force as Intel CPUs, because man, those things scare me when you close it. It's like creaking and oh damn. Yeah, so now what we want to do is get your cooler and make sure that the AMD part up here is facing this way. You can face it this way or this way, but I recommend you do it this way, just because of the RAM and, well, symmetry and all that. Now you just want to slowly put it down over the backplate holes. There you go, that's on it. Now get your screwdriver and screw it all in a crisscross pattern. Now let's see if this will actually fit in. Damn, actually, I need to change the, there we go. So you want to screw it in a crisscross pattern. Oh, I need to get a different screwdriver. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I found my Phillips head finally, and I just needed a longer attachment on this. So you want to screw it in a crisscross pattern. Try not to apply too much pressure while you're doing this. Don't bottom out the screws just yet. Take your time when doing this. Up. Okay, I've made a mistake. We are back. Okay, I've corrected my mistake. Up. And now you just want to tighten them all in a crisscross pattern. So you just want to hold your screwdriver lightly. So if you feel that you can't go anymore without applying much force, then it's stopped. So you just do that on all four sides in a crisscross pattern. There you go. See that? go. That one is done, and I think this one should be done now. Oop. Yep. This one should be done. So there we go. So that's the cooler mounted. Now you want to plug the fan, the 4-pin, plug into the 4-pin header on the fan and the motherboard. Now, what you do is, for cable management, I'm just going to tie it up like this and then plug it in. There we go, and that's your CPU installed. Whee! Now you can lift it up and everything should be perfect. All screws are intact, good mounting pressure on top of the CPU, nothing went wrong, it's all Gucci. Now you'll see why it is advised that you put the this part facing that way when it comes. That's when it comes to installing your RAM. So let's put this to the one side again and get the RAM unboxed. Now, as you will have seen before, this is the Crucial Ballistics gaming memory, 16GB kit, DDR4 2400. Right, so I've already opened this before yet again because I was too curious, and this is actually my first time of having RAM like this, so I'm actually quite excited. Now with RAM, you don't really need to be that careful, but you still need to be careful. Make sure you ground yourself every time. Touch metal, touch metallic just to discharge yourself. But I'm wearing socks right now, so there isn't much, about it. So want to get your RAM out. Put this to one side. Now these are the RAMs. Very nice. It's like a sandblasted metal on top of it. Very nice feeling in the hands. Yeah, so let's get the motherboard back. Now this is the part that you would feel like, oh, I'm gonna snap my motherboard in half. Well, let me tell you this, you won't. So what you want to do is push these pins back, well, these clips back. On this motherboard it's only one-sided, but I mean, yeah. Now as you see why you don't put it on this side, because it will interrupt the RAM sticks. Now what you want to do is make sure this pin, this notch, aligns with the notch on the motherboard, and you put it in. Make sure the notch is aligned or it won't go in. Now if it's not going in, don't force it. You might have to make sure that the notches are aligned. Now you want to apply some force to this till you hear a click. So listen, I'm going to put the mic close to it so you can hear the click. Now, I don't know if you can hear me, but just listen, you can hear a click. Oh, okay, there we go. Now if you heard that, that's what you should hear. Because this is a very new motherboard, right, sorry headphone users, because this is a very new motherboard, it's going to be very hard to install the RAM because everything is really stiff and stuff. Now you install the second stick using the same method. Okay, nice. And there you go, that is your motherboard done. So on the next episode we'll be installing the power supply and the motherboard, and all the motherboard on all the PC headers that are on the front panel. So yeah, so if you like this video, and also the fans too, we'll be installing the fans. So if you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next. Peace.